Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you back to the 49th character in the series of newcomer ideas for the upcoming Smash Bros. Game, as I talk about Twintelle, my 4th character on this list from ARMS. And also one that's not super likely like Min Min. Like it's more than likely easily going to be like either, Ribbon Girl or, Spring Man. It's either going to be Spring Man or Ribbon Girl, more than likely if we get an ARMS rep. However, I'd like to give all the other characters chances too, because there is a possibility we could see them, and they all are interesting characters that'd be cool to see in Smash Bros. So the next one I'm talking about, and it's not the last one either, I have like 3 more on this list at some point. Oh jeez, 4 I think actually. But the 4th character I'm talking about in that, series ARMS for my 49th character, 49 and going, is Twintelle. Now, why does the character make sense to get in? Reasons, moveset ideas, and percentage chance I can see them picking Twintelle. It's the same thing. I mentioned the same thing in the Ribbon Girl video and the same thing in the Min Min video. Their movesets would be fairly similar with unique small differences like their special abilities and like how they fight and their speed and strength differences and their, whatever, strength versus defense versus agility and whatnot. So her moveset's going to be fairly similar to how I think I said for like Spring Man, Ribbon Girl, and Min Min. The only difference is her arms are her, hair versus her actual arms. So that's the major difference here. But in terms of, before I even get onto that, let's talk about reasons for why she makes sense to get in. ARMS is one of the biggest new IPs from them. It represents the switch. You would like to put a character from their big new IP in. Splatoon came on the Wii U era, had a sequel on the Switch. It's getting a character. Xenoblade was a big new IP for Nintendo on the the Wii, and got another game on the Wii U and another game on the Switch, and it got a character in Smash Bros. 4, and is likely going to get 1 or 2 newcomers in Smash Bros. 5 with Elma and/or Rex. It's the big new IP now that debuted on the Switch, and it's one of the biggest new IPs that they heavily push with DLC and tournaments and free demos and stuff like that. You would think they would want to push that franchise even more with a Smash Bros. Representative, and she's one of the most pushed popular characters from the series, and I don't value popularity and demand over uniqueness and relevancy and recency and whatnot, but it's still, like I always mention this, I mentioned this in a lot of different videos, it still matters, it just doesn't matter as much. At least how I see it. And Twintelle is like a cool character to see in the series. And if they pick her, at least it's a unique, different style character that is she's one of the most fan favorites. It represents a franchise from Nintendo that is very likely to get a Smash Brothers character, but who they pick is entirely dependent on if he plays it safe with like Ribbon Girl or Spring Man, or if Sakurai picks like one of the more unique, different characters like Ninjara, Twintelle, Min Min, Mechanica or whatever. Lola Pop. I don't know. And that's basically the reasons why it is. It's the same reasons I mentioned for Min Min, Ribbon Girl, and Spring Man. The same reasons. ARMS is a big new IP. They're going to push it. Put a character in. Now. Moveset ideas now. Like with the other characters, their smash attacks are going to be standard punches. So standard boxing gloves, and they're going to punch, charge them up, smack people around with punching, boxing. Except instead of it being her arms, it's her hair. That's the standard he loves. The special attacks are the special arms, ones that are unique, specifically important, and used for her as well as other different ones. Her arms are basically the Chilla, the Parasol, and the Thunderbird. I would also say other unique choices would be the Bird Chuck, the Scorpio, the Clapback, the Roaster, but specifically at least the Chilla, the Parasol, and the Thunderbird. Different unique arms have different unique effects, like shocking opponents or knocking them down, or whatever the heck these arms basically do. Because I've mentioned before, I haven't played ARMS yet, so I've done a lot of research on the different arms in the game to kind of uniquely pick their movesets and whatnot. And then, before I get to the final smash, her unique abilities are she can charge her arms in the air. So she's just like Min Min would have a unique advantage in the air versus Ribbon Girl and especially Spring Man, who would be mostly a ground fighter, and Ribbon Girl's only thing is she could do double jumps and triple jumps in midair and whatnot, midair jumps. She can charge her air up in the air, so she'll be able to have some air combos and be able to attack people while they're in the air, and in fact, be able to attack other people while she's in the air, so she'll be more airborne. And she also has the ability to time slow down. So I would say try to make it a less OP version of what Bayonetta does with her witch time thing. Like give her the ability to kind of do something like witch time and slow down the game if she dodges a attack or counters at the right time or something, and have her be able to slow down, but make it slightly different than what Bayonetta does. And then in terms of Final Smash, it's always what the same thing is. It's the rush attack. Their special abilities in arms where they just get all their rush meter up and they go up and they do triple combos. And then you just double, triple, quadruple damage to opponents with multiple punches, and they get sent flying off the stage of their damage enough. It has to be the Final Smash, regardless. All these characters are having the same Final Smash because it's their special move. Now, in terms of... I'm going right through this because I've talked about 4 freaking ARMS characters so far. And the percentage chance I can see them getting in, it's 75%. It's decent. It's around the same level as a Min, but not as high up as a Ribbon Girl or a Spring Man, because those two seem like the main 2 characters of the game, and Sakurai would pick one of them instead, because, you know, we've normally seen Sakurai pick main characters. We've normally seen Sakurai pick major characters from the games he puts and represents in Smash Brothers. I don't see him really breaking from that, but he might for ARMS, because Ribbon Girl and Spring Man aren't the most interesting, but they're the more main characters, so he might pick them. But if he wants to go for a more interesting character, there's a million other ones out there in that series, he might pick Twintelle. I pick 75% chance because there's a chance she could be picked, but it's not as likely as like Ribbon Girl or Spring Man. Unless they, like I mentioned in other videos, they do get around the way by having one singular ARMS character, which is Spring Man, but like, you know, Bowser Jr. with the Koopalings, you put skins of alternate characters like Ribbon Girl and Min and whatnot on them. That doesn't really work for certain characters like Twintelle, whose main arms are on her hair, though, and not her arms. But Sakurai, if he could find anything, he probably could, so I have no idea. And that's it. And this video is really short, probably one of the shortest ones I have so far. You know, in terms of characters, you know, ideas. It's only been about 8 minutes now. But that's it, 75% chance. So put in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys want to see Twintelle? Do you think she makes sense to get in? Reasons for her to get in, or not to get in? What moveset ideas would you give her? Would you be able to differentiate her more than I've said? Because all these movesets are mostly staying the same besides their abilities. And like if they wanted to represent multiple ARMS characters as separate characters, what would you do to differentiate them? And what my 75% chance, is it too high, too low? I don't really know, because I see it her as possible, but it's not like an ARMS, like Spring Man, Ribbon Girl potential, because those are both higher. So that's it for Twintelle, character number 49. And now we go to the 50th character, and the last character I'm going to record before, obviously, Nintendo's E3 in about like 5 hours. I'm recording this about 7 in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So about 6-7 hours from now is going to be Nintendo's E3. And one more character, number 50. And who am I going to end it on before the E3 comes around? You know, I'm not going to tell you. You're going to find out when I upload it. Character number 50 coming next time. My name is Fun. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day. Say goodbye to Twintelle as the 4th ARMS character. And we get on to number 50, which you will be surprised when it's finally uploaded. Bye.